Good morning, Patrick. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Absolutely fantastic and very excited to talk with you because I've experienced You've Got to Believe. I loved this movie.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, it's really great, huh?
Oh, my God. Just the sound of that ball hitting the aluminum bat. All of a sudden, I was 11-year-old me all over again. It just really gets inside your head and heart.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. You don't get to hit that aluminum bat for too much longer.
So true. Yeah, because once I turned 12, then it was all about and you get the wooden bat and bigger boys on that field.
Yep.
What did you learn going into this project? And the reason why I bring that up so quickly is because you say something in the movie that totally sets things up. The next Nolan Ryan. All you had to do was say that, and all of a sudden, I'm pulled into this game.
Yeah, it was cool. Hunter Dixon. Yeah, it was great. I mean, to just kind of be able to tell that story again, and the fact that it's a true story, and it's amazing that they are scouting kids that young too. Crazy.
Well, and they only had 10 days to get in shape, and so I'm the naysayer going, oh, how are they going to do this in 10 days? Oh my God! Yeah. There was Greg Kinnear. He was showing up.
Yep. Yeah, they did a great job. I mean, I think also most teams that are getting there, are really good. So they're already playing together and they kind of know that they're going to get far. So they're prepped and probably practicing more. But this team had no idea, nor did they really care. They thought this was their last game and it was all just a formality. But it turned out to be anything but.
Don't you think, though, that part of their camaraderie and teamwork came from collecting those baseball cards? Because I think those things come with a lot of magic.
Oh, yeah, baseball cards for sure. I mean, we've been collecting them for years. They have documentaries about them. I mean, it's so cool. And then when you get those mystery packs and you don't know what you're going to open, it's pretty great.
I did that when Michael Jordan was playing with the Birmingham Barons. I had to have every single Michael Jordan baseball card. I got them, but it's like, what am I going to do with them now? Just put them away, man. It's not for this generation.
No, that's right. Save it for 30 years from now. So
when you guys were filming the game itself, were you physically in Williamsport?
This movie was filmed in Toronto. But I know that they did a really good job sort of matching it, and they have some real footage from the actual World Series that they use and stuff like that. So it's a little mixture of both.
Well, I love the way that You Got to Believe really does bring the past into the present, because, I mean, there are going to be some young adults that are going to be watching this movie in theaters, and they're going to hear the name Satchel Paige, and they're going to go, what? What? Who? What? Yeah. And they're going to hit Google, and they're going to realize there was somebody giant before they stepped on that plate.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, there's a nice history lesson there, too.
Yeah. So in your own personal life, I got to be honest with you, I've seen The Sandlot at least 11 times. I mean, what did you feel at your age that you knew that movie was going to go on to become something that was going to affect the other generations?
Well, I don't think we knew. I think, I don't think there was any way to know that it was going to turn into that. We obviously knew that the movie we were filming was good, and you knew the script was good, and we thought we were making something special, but there's no way to know. Even the director couldn't have known what he was creating was going to mean that much to people years later.
One of the scenes that really, to this day, I hold in my heart is when the ball ends up in the ladies' yard and the dog is over there. Because I think in our own little lives, we've all had a ball that we hit in the wrong direction, and it was like, who's going to get it? Not me. I'm not going to get the darn thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, luckily for us, the Beast and the owner of the house turned out to be sweethearts, both of them, James Earl Jones and the Bull Mastiff, and we got it back and a whole lot more.
Did you play Little League? I mean, and did you get home runs?
Well, I of course played Little League. Yeah, I don't know how many home runs I got at 12, but you have to be pretty good, I think, to hit it out of the park on those. But I also probably played in a lot that didn't have fences, so you kind of get home runs just hitting it over the outfielder's head.
Yeah, because my thing was, as long as we were doing baseball practice, I was hitting the ball. But once I got into a game, screw it. I was just a waste of time.
Yeah, I understand. I was pretty decent growing up, but I, definitely didn't get any
Yeah,
scholarships.
yeah. One of the touching scenes, or I'm going to say a laughing scene inside the You Gotta Believe movie, is when Peter is told to wake up, because we all know somebody, or we've been that somebody that fell asleep in that darn
Yeah.
dugout.
Yep, absolutely. That is one of the funniest parts for sure.
Yeah. So what are you working on as an actor or as a creative person these days?
Well, I have this movie that's out today nationwide. You got to believe. I have another movie coming out in October called Monster Summer, and I do producing and directing in LA. And I have my athletics apparel line, Hambino Athletics. So keeping myself busy with a bunch of different stuff.
Let's talk about that apparel line. What's going on there? Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's an athleisure line that I started with a creative director of the Mighty Company, which is a jacket line. So she does all the designing. She's the talented designer. I just, I'm just a pretty face.
But see, I love that about Los Angeles, because when my daughter was at UCLA, we would go into those shops that would have all those designers, and when they would try new things by putting it on people's bodies. I mean, I love that there's so much design in LA.
Yeah, it's true. It's really cool. LA's got it all.
I love the idea that you guys are putting this movie in theaters. I'm part of a movie promotion company, and the thing is that that's one of the things that we've struggled with, is that we got to get theaters to open up their doors to these movies, and this movie is perfect for this time of year.
Totally.
Everybody's going back to school. They need a good feel-good movie.
Yeah, and it doesn't just need to be Marvel movies that, or Star Wars. There's definitely a lot of other movies and a lot of other important stories to tell, like this one.
Well, and part of that story is Luke's story. I don't want to spoil anything, but Luke Wilson plays a huge role in this movie in the way of there being a twist.
Yeah. Yeah, well, obviously the true story nature of the team that made it as far as they did, but also, one of the star players, Robert Ratliff Jr., who I've gotten to know pretty well now. But yeah, his father, and battling the illness that he was, and they embroider his name on the side of their hat, and he's the inspiration for the team the whole time.
Did any of the team show up on the set, or it was filmed up in Canada, so probably not, right?
Yeah, well, Robert Ratliff Jr. was there, and I met him when I filmed up there, and then we had the premiere here in Fort Worth last night, and the whole original team was there. So I got to hang out with them all day yesterday. Yeah, it was really great. They're all still buds.
God, what kind of stories did they have? I mean, because seriously, to have that kind of brotherhood, and they even talk about it inside the movie about, what are you trying to win a game? It's being brothers and being a team. Yeah,
it's very cool. They they have a lot of stories, and it's really cool to see that they're all still pals, because they obviously shared such an important moment in their history,
I kept telling my wife during the movie, I said, please, please, please show pictures of the real people at the end of this movie during the credits. Man, they paid off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that really paid off. Get your Kleenex out for that one.
Can you talk about your new movie coming up in October?
Yeah, it has some other baseball in it. It's called Monster Summer, and Mason Thames and Mel Gibson and Lorraine Bracco all star in it, and it's cool. It should be another fun one. I have a fun role in that, and then just we'll see what else comes my way in this new year as well. But right now, I'm just really excited about You Gotta Believe opening in theaters today. It's really, really fun to have a movie out in theaters again.
And I think that listeners should get on social media and tell people that how great this movie is, that we need those influencers to really push this movie forward.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cause that'll kind of bring movies like this back to theaters and give them the ability to release in theaters again.
Yeah. And with your movie coming up in October, that's perfect ripe, for the World Series. The Mets are probably going to be in the World Series. What happens then because it's perfectly ripe for a good baseball movie.
Yeah, it's great. Are you a Mets fan?
I'm a Mets fan through Michael is who I am. That's the only reason why I even started chasing the Mets, is because he's always promoting the Mets.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. That you never know on who makes it. That's the great thing about baseball too. The best team could be out in the first round, but Yeah, it's great timing for the movie. Baseball's just starting to get really exciting now.
Yeah, it sure is. Where can people go to find out more about what you're doing, Patrick? Because I want them to know everything that you've invested your time into.
Yeah, I have a website, patrickrenna.com. It kind of tells you everything I'm doing, but I have the apparel line and the movies and social media and producing, directing, so it's all on there.
You doing any writing?
I haven't really tried my hand at writing yet. That I don't know. You got to kind of steal yourself away.
Yeah.
And I haven't had the ability to do that with two young kids, but maybe as they grow a little older, I'll try it out a little bit. I actually do have I wrote, you asked and I say no, but I did write a kid's book that's coming out in March next year, March, April. And Penguin Random House is publishing it, so that'll be fun. And it's baseball themed, and I'm excited about that.
Dude, I'm excited about that because I have two writing channels, View from the Writing Instrument, and I have a YA Authors channel. That is so perfect for you to come back onto the show so we can talk about it.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm in.
Excellent. Well, you be brilliant today, and thank you for bringing baseball out here in a way of sharing stories and not just, well, the guy's up on the mound right now, here comes that pitch. We don't need that. We need stories about the players.
Yeah, I agree, and this is a great one.
Excellent. Well, you be brilliant today, okay, sir?
Thank you very much. You too.